Shabbat Shalom. I'm sorry that we're only streaming tonight. We can't be in person in the sanctuary because our power has been out all day. And so there's no way to stream from there, and it's kind of hot. So here we are. But we hope you're joining us from home, from places that are cool. And should we begin lighting the candles?
Okay.
Okay. So I hope if you have candles there with you, please light them with me. Oops. Take some light inside and join us in the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. How nice, how good it is to welcome Shabbat with light. You know, the portion is all about the lighting of the lights in the sanctuary this week, right? Always remember it was Shirley Patisha's Torah portion, her bat mitzvah portion. And she brought candles. She always brought her candlesticks during this portion. One was from, the story was that her mother, when she was escaping the Nazis, ran back and grabbed what she thought were her mother's candlesticks, but she actually grabbed two different ones. She grabbed one of her mother's and one of her grandmother's. So Shirley had, and for years they thought they were a matching set, but then they looked more closely, I think at Shirley's bat mitzvah, and saw that they were two separate ones, and then found the story. So we never know how we carry on the story and light from generation to generation. But we welcome the Shabbat angels and pray that they bring us some light and the Shabbat and power.
Shalom Aleichem. Malachi Hashari, Malachi Elyon, Malachi Harachamim, Mi Melech, Malachi HaMelachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu. Ochem leShalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon, Malachi Harachamim, Mi Melech, Malachi HaMelachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leShalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon, Malachi Harachamim, מי מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא צאתכם לשלום מלכי השלום מלכי עליון מלכי הרחמים מי מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא צאתכם לשלום מלכי השלום מלכי עליון מלכי הרחמים מי מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך
First, we welcome the angels, and then we welcome that extra soul.
יום זה לישראל אורה בשמחה אורה בשמחה אורה בשמחה שבת מנוחה אורה בשמחה אורה בשמחה שבת מנוחה חמדת לבבו לאומה שבורה לנפשות נכבוד נשמה יתרה מנפש חסרה יסיר והנחה שבת מנוחה יום זה בישראל אורה בשמחה אורה בשמחה אורה בשמחה שבת מנוחה אורה בשמחה אורה בשמחה שבת מנוחה
And finally, we welcome the bride, the seventh bride, with Lechadodi, calling to all that helps us feel whole.
Chadodi לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Chadodi לקראת קלה, פני שבת קבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד, שמו אחד, ושם תפארת ולתחילה. לחדודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לחדודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת קלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלחקים מקום הברכה, וראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה ומחשבה תחילה. לחדודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לחדודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת קבל. התעוררי כי באורכוני, אורי שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לחדודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת קבלה. לחדודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת קלה. בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצור חולה. טוב אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, בואי. לחדודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת קבלה. לחדודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת. לחדודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת קבלה. לחדודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת קבלה.
I hope you feel ready now to enter into a prayer space wherever you are. I imagine some people are at home, maybe some people are together with others, maybe some people are outside. Wherever you are, I hope you're feeling your ability to be in a sacred place wherever you are, as we call each other to prayer with the words of the Baruch together.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך, לעולם ועד לעולם.
And now the Shema, this wonderful declaration, not a prayer from people to God, but a prayer from God to each of us. Shema Yisrael, listen you God wrestlers, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Everything you think I am, you can have your own different ideas, but I am one.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu,
Adonai Echad. We continue together. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושופך ובקומך וקשרתם מאוד על ידיך, והיו לצוצפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, כי אתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני Adonai Elohechem. Met. And maybe as a kavanah for the Michamocha today, since this is the Juneteenth weekend, as we remember the slavery of that narrow place long ago, let us also recall the moment that the slaves in this country were set free on Juneteenth. Don't you have your poem to read?
I do.
I'll read it now.
It's long.
It's okay. I guess we're not going to read it now. I guess we're going to sing first.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נוראתי לא תוסף אלה, מלכותך ובניך, בו קיים לפני משה. זה אלי, זה אלי, זה אלי, זה אלי, זה אלי, זה אלי, זה אלי ענו ואמרו. אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, לעולם ועד. ועד נאמר כי פדה אדוני יעקב, גואלו מיד חזק ממנו. As you redeemed Jacob and saved him from arms that were stronger than his own, so may you redeem all who are oppressed and persecuted. Baruch atah Adonai Ka'al Yisrael. Then Miriam, Haniviyah, prophetess, she took a drum in her hand and we followed her with drums and dancing. Miriam chanted with us. Shiru Adonai Kigaoga. Shiru Adonai Kigaoga. Shiru Adonai Kigaoga. Shiru Adonai Kigaoga. Sus Baruch Vo Ramavayam. Sus Baruch Vo Ramavayam. Shiru Adonai Kigaoga, Kigaoga, Kigaoga. Fros alenu sukat shalomecha, spread over us the shelter of your peace. Baruch atah Adonai aporei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you who spreads the shelter of peace over us and over all people. Over Jerusalem, Jerusalem, Jerusalem. We are praying for the peace of Jerusalem, Jerusalem. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael B'eta Shabbat, Eta Shabbat, La'asot Eta Shabbat, Ledorotam Berit Olam, Beini u'bein B'nei Yisrael, Oti Le'olam, Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, u'bayom hashvi'i Shabbat v'yinafash. The children of Israel shall keep the Shabbos, observing it through the generations as a covenant for all time. It is a sign forever between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days the eternal God made the heavens and the earth, and on the 7th day Shabbat v'yinafash. God breathed the soul into creation. Shabbat v'yinafash. God breathed the soul into creation.
So we begin the tefillah, but on Friday nights, usually we usually just use this time as a reflection time. So maybe you want to do a little meditation.
I can do the piece.
You want to do the piece? Okay. So instead of the tefillah, of course, if you have the siddur, you have it in front of you. Feel free to enter into prayer, but also here's a piece from Jim, an offering on Juneteenth, the message of Juneteenth as our Holy of Holies tonight.
For questions 5. In each generation, a person should feel as if he or she personally were released from Egypt. The Haggadah. Any day now I shall be released. Bob Dylan. I leave slavery every day of my life, or I don't. Anonymous. President Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation on September 22nd, 1862, with the claim that as of January 1st, 1863, all enslaved people in the states currently engaged in rebellion against the Union, quote, shall be thenceforth, and forever free, close quote. Thenceforward, and forever, euphemism for a long time. First question, when does freedom begin? Does it begin with the proclamation? What informed that proclamation? Who, before, what? Every freedom story is regressible. Who taught what to whom that one day resulted in acts of freedom taking? And with that proclamation, the next question, second question, when is freedom real? When to claim it and celebrate it? With the Emancipation Proclamation, enslavement was still practiced, and in many states, the end of the Civil War was not known. On June 19, 1865, Union troops arrived at Galveston, Texas, where enslavement had not ended, and the news came for the first time to many African Americans there. Freedom, slavery had ended, and the date came to be known as Juneteenth. And a time for celebration on the theme, freedom. Freedom. And the question arose, third question, when can a community claim freedom? Who is entrusted to claim it? The community itself, for one, by designating Juneteenth and to honor the residual work of freedom that does not end, cannot be celebrated. The question lingers in the air, when is freedom? When is it formal? And fourth question, how long freedom? How long does it take? Freedom not only regressible, but freedom taking is the long work of the future, cleansing and clarifying and de-traumatizing the residue that enslavement leaves in a people made up of persons. And so on the day, June 17th, 2021, long into the future from Juneteenth, the President of the United States, Joseph R. Biden, signed into law designating June 19th as Juneteenth National Independence Day, the 11th federal holiday, this one commemorating the end of slavery in the United States. Understanding that the consequences of slavery wind long into the future of a people. And deep in the psychology of peoples, both those who were victimized by it and those who were victimizers, the work of freedom taking long, deep and thorough. And at every stage along the way, we may say, we began, and we may ask the fifth question, what next? And who will continue the work? Quote, we can't rest until the promise of equality is fulfilled for every one of us in every corner of this nation. Closed quote. President Joseph R. Biden, the 46th President of the United States. Juneteenth, 2021, remembered on Juneteenth, 2022. Bless our President, our Vice President, and all their noble retinue.
Amen. 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 Thank you. Thank you. How about a prayer for peace? Beautiful, Jim. Thank you.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha. Great peace al Yisrael Amcha. Great peace, Tasi Leolam, make it forever. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha. Great peace, Tasim Leolam. Baruch atah Adonai mevarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. Blessed are you who puts peace on us.
Nice. Beautiful. Beautiful. It was a wonderful teaching. Can I say a word about the Torah portion? What do you think? So, I think to complement the teaching on what it takes, just the whole story that of Juneteenth and what it took and what it represents, and this notion of how we go forward. I think this Torah portion kind of has a challenge in it for us, because it's a very rich portion, but we are not our best in it. It begins with keeping the light of the seven-branched menorah lit in the temple. And actually, this light becomes the answer to many of the challenges that follow from the complaining of the people that finally puts Moses over the edge. The people complain again and again and again, and this time he just goes to God and he says, I want to die. I can't handle their complaining anymore. And God also has enough and says to the people, you want meat? I'll give you meat. It's kind of like, remember when your kids were asking for whatever, candy or something? You want candy? I'll give you candy. I'll give you so much candy, it's coming out of your ears. And that's what God says to us. You want meat? I'll give you meat till you can't stand it anymore. And that's what happens. We get so much quail, we don't know what to do with it. But there's also in this portion the light of prophecy that shines on the elders and helps them guide us through all of these challenges, to the promised land, to what the slaves were dreaming about all that time, what they were willing to risk everything for, freedom. You see, light can illuminate what is beautiful, but it can also light up what is broken. It can help us see more clearly that which we would like to be revealed, but also what we would like to keep hidden. You can't have it both ways. The light is going to show us everything. When Aaron and his sons light the menorah, we see everything more clearly, like it or not. Perhaps why the issue of prophecy is brought up in this portion as well. Moses is tired of being the only one to receive prophecy, so God agrees to put the light of prophecy, of truth telling on 70 elders to help Moses out. But what happens is Eldad and Medad are standing by the tent when the prophecy is put on the 70 elders, and they get it just by standing next to the tent. Joshua complains and wants to put them in prison, shut them up, because they weren't supposed to get the gift of prophecy. But Moses, of course, says, would that everyone would be a prophet. How perfect is that response? Not, it's only for some, but Moses says, I wish everybody could have this gift to prophesy, to tell the truth, even when it's difficult. In order for the work to be done, Moses understands that there cannot be turf issues, that we cannot hoard power or privilege, and that instead everyone must have access and opportunity, even to become a prophet. So what does it mean to be a prophet? Heschel said to be a prophet is to be in fellowship with the feelings of God. The Hebrew word for prophet, navi, a mouthpiece, a channeler for godliness, not for oneself, but for a higher good. Most prophets are reluctant. Jeremiah longed for a different message. Moses did not want to go, and things got worse before they got better. Jonah tried to run away, and in this portion, Miriam, Haneviah, Miriam, the prophetess, gets stricken with leprosy for shining a light on the truth. For being a prophet, she's punished. But prophets have no choice. They have to speak up and speak out. They do. You have to become a prophet when you know that things are just not right, when you believe that one's Torah, one's teachings and core values are not here to give us easy answers, but are demanding that we do the right thing, even when it's hard, even when people around us get annoyed with us, or worse, when being a prophet calls us to challenge everything that we know, the status quo, to change the world, to believe, like the Israelites did, that we could create a society without pharaohs and slaves, with laws that would celebrate life instead of building cities for the dead as they did in Egypt. To believe that we could create a society that would reject child sacrifice and build in safeguards for the most vulnerable among us. where each person would have infinite worth and the opportunity to be their best selves. The prophets made everyone uncomfortable with the status quo if it didn't serve everyone. There were counterculture voices of their time protesting when we turned what was not God into God, and when we disconnected God from love, from forgiveness, and from the possibility of repentance. So we are not our best in this portion. We forget our prophetic call, and we long to go back to Egypt where the fish was plentiful. And then we have the story of Miriam. Miriam and Aaron remind Moses that God speaks through them too. The Midrash says that Miriam stands up to Moses because he's neglecting his wife. This is a hard truth, and Miriam is stricken with leprosy, a woman silenced for speaking her truth, for stepping out on a limb. But it is to remind us that that is where we need to be, out on that limb. Imagine how many limbs people had to go out on for Juneteenth to become a holy day for this nation and what it represents. So then Miriam is healed with the most perfect prayer. Elna Rafan Allah. Moses speaks these simple words, and Miriam is healed. The community waits for her, and there is once again hope that all the people will prophesy, that all the people will channel what we know to be the truth because they are lit up with the lights of truth, that we will all take our place as the prophets we are meant to be. We will all see clearly what our place is and not miss the opportunity to be part of the healing. And God knows we need healing so much right now. There's a commentary that suggests that the elders were not really appointed to prophesy, but to help Moses with the healing of the people, to heal from the trauma of slavery, to heal from the trauma of Amalek, to heal from the trauma of the wilderness, to love them back to health with compassion as he did with Miriam. Nachmanides says their role was not so much to speak for God as Moses did, but even more importantly, it was to speak to the hearts of the people when they were in pain. This is our role as well. Surely it is to speak the truth when we see it, but to speak it with love and with compassion, understanding that as much as we would do, as much as we would like to demonize the other, to leave the ignorant outside the tent, the only way we will truly make change is to listen to each other, to compromise, and be willing to grow the middle, to be allies if we expect to be allies, to listen when it's hard to hear, to show compassion to the hardest of hearts, to speak the truth, and to bring the possibility of healing and hope and chutzpah to the most challenging of people and places. And in this way, like Eldad and Medad, we will grow the beloved community of healers and begin to heal the broken heart of the world. Should we do a Mishabera, a healing prayer? So let's offer a Mishabera, a healing prayer for Meredith Berkowitz and Eileen Ehrlich, for Sammy Schaus and Margie Katz, for Paul Hershkowitz's granddaughter Paige and Ruth Groff and Miriam Fields and Vera Kropf and Joan Butcher and Marvin Crane and Janet Cunningham and Simon Ramoser Clunch and Chana Kayla Batsara Leah, Ari Iris and Mary Holt, Susan Fadum, Penina Batdavora and Bill Weiner, Michael Davenport and Kathy Charlie Sarakas, Chris Kleindinst, and Toby Schreiber, Deborah Zarensky, Dormarian Poe, Paul Michel, and our good friend Rick Isserman. I know there are many people who have COVID and cancer and Alzheimer's and other diseases we cannot quite completely cure. We think about all of them and add the names of those. Let's see. For Norma Sherman, thanks Diane. For Lisa and Gabby and Ellen and Toby, Kaz and Monica. Please take a moment to think about the people that you would like to bring healing to as we offer this prayer.
Refuat nefesh, refuat aguf. The healing of the spirit and the healing of the body. For those we know, for those we don't know. On my right, the angel Michael. On my left, the angel Gabriel. In front of me, the angel Uriel. Behind me, the angel Raphael. Above my head, 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 Shekhinah Teiel. Baruch atah Adonai Rofei HaCholim. Blessed are you, great healer. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. And turn to the Elena. We hope that the power is back on so that we can have services in person tomorrow, and of course always hybrid. We have a Benot Mitzvah tomorrow afternoon at CRC at 3 o'clock. Looking forward to that. Hope the power is back on for that as well. Yeah. Oh, the power's back on. When did that happen? Oh, the power just went back on at CRC. So we will be back in person and hybrid tomorrow. That's great news. Thank you. Thank you, Autumn, for the good news. And so we take upon us with the Elenu all that we know we are being called to do, to push us a little bit further along in the wilderness. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vekor aleinu kachol hamona, ve'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu noteh shamayim ve'yoser haaretz umoshev yikaro b'shamayim mima'al ushchinatu zo begofei meromim Hu Eloheinu ein od, Emet Malkeinu efes zulato, Kakatu betorato, V'yadata hayom ve'ashevota el levavecha, Ki Adonai hu Elohim, B'shamayim mima'al, Ve'al haaretz, mitachat ein od, v'ne'emar, v'haya Adonai, lemelech al kol haaretz, vayom hahu, yiyeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. And at the end of every service, we turn to those who have died, mention the names of those who have died at this time in years past, and also those who have a yard site whose anniversary of death is at this time. And we'll begin with tomorrow is the year anniversary of Andy Neiman. We remember Gerald Chervitz and Bobby Morell. Judge Roberta Hitt, the year anniversary is coming up. Andrew Rockman, Gary Winicky, Matt Friedman, Eric Burrell, Janice Marks, Sarah's mom, Karen Margot, Art Peters, Suzanne Cooperman Gill, Joan Zucker, Allison and Josie Abitz, Bernard Davis, Dr. Saul Cooperman and Suzanne Cooperman. Thank you, Diane. Carol Fleischer, Linda Holtzman, Frank Backleman, Judy Hunter, Beatrice Daniel, Samuel Nussbaum, Kyle Courier, Adam Meany, Barrett Braun, John Perlutsky, Shirley Berman, Emma Sue Coney, Pat Denlow, Nina Levine, Ruth Gustorf, Charles Fremder, Robert William Pierce, Constance McNeil, Michael Huxley, Ann Wooten, Dr. Stan Frager, the victims of a house fire early this morning in Spanish Lake. I don't think we have their names, but we are so sorry to hear of this. From you two, we have Uncle Jerry, Grandpa Charlie, Diana Kirkpatrick, Robert William Pierce, Constance McNeil, Michael Huxley, Ann Wooten, I think you said, David Spira, Susan Carlson, Mert Woolman, Dr. Paige Powers, Selena Green, Art Lash, Babette Young, Dorothy Silverberg, Richard Bushman, Shirley Patricia, Eileen Siegel, Aubrey Owitz, Phyllis Leventhal, Mimi Jacobs Davidson, Faye Zimmerman, Al Baker, James Babcock, Renee Deal, Barbara Woodruff, Eva Poteet, Marvin and Francis Ilovicki, Robert Wolfsey, George Newman, Nina Balsam, Josh Porter, Betty Renee Marver, Alice Handelman, Sylvia Ginsburg, William Levinson, Leslie Wayne Duncan, and our beloved member David Kaskowitz, who just passed away this past week. It is also the yard site of Flo Arnold, Leonard Gravier, Goldie Lepovsky, Richard Reggie, and Baruch Nissen Teldon. Esther Appleton, Simon Bluestein, said a lot of these names, Bob Dubinsky, Ed Madziwa, Daniel Suffian, Dominic DePlacido, Benjamin Levinson, Sarah Lindquist, Josh Porter, I said, yeah. Josh Porter, Sheila Michaels, Larry Zide, Ann Birmingham, Edward Grolnick, Netta Mayer, Edma Sperling, and Lee Scheinbart. Are there any other names that have come up? Please hold all of these and all of yours in your hearts as we say the words of the Kaddish, words that push us again to be prophetic in the face of death.
Morris Ratzkoff.
Morris Ratzkoff, thank you. And just to live more, to have them
Asia.
Make us proud. Asia, for Mary Susan. We remember all of them and honor all of them with the words of the Kaddish and by living prophetically as we can. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'alma divrach hirutei ve'amlich malchutei. V'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayedecho beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kariv ve'imru.
Amen.
Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam amei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitalei v'yitalah shmei kudusha
Barichu.
Le'ilah min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechmata ta'amiran be'ilma ve'imru amen. Yehi shlomo Rabba min shemaya v'chayim Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen.
Amen.
Osei shalom b'ramav hu yasei shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru
Amen.
amen.
Ve'imru, ve'imru, amen. Ve'imru, amen. Ve'imru, amen.
Ve'imru amen. Amen. Amen.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat
shalom. Shabbat shalom.
shalom.
Try to sing that out loud.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom,
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shalom.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Lots going on at CRC. Please check the website. You can help with the mitzvah farm on Sunday from 6 to 8 if you're able. Don't forget it's Pride Month and there's a lot of opportunities to participate. And again, with that prophetic voice, speak up for what is right. And lots of classes, and we'll leave you with a blessing. Will you do the blessing? So thanks again. Thanks to Autumn. We're glad Autumn is healing. And thanks for producing tonight. And thanks for showing up, even though we couldn't be in person tonight. I guess we will be tomorrow. So Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. When the upper worlds and the lower worlds find each other. It will be a secret, generous wisdom. And every individual will feel like a version of God. Keinihiratsu.
Keinihiratsu. Don't forget to light those lights like we lit them in the sanctuary long ago. Shabbat Shalom.